Another thing that I'm really excited about that I want to show you, she is kicking me in the boob. Can I move on, please, Ghost? Hello and welcome or welcome back to the Juliet Pico Designs YouTube channel. I'm Jules, the owner, designer, dyer, maker, all of it of Juliet Pico Designs. I am here with another video diary. I know it's been a minute. I keep saying I'm going to do these. Oh, and here's Ghost. Of course, that didn't take her long at all. Say hi to the camera, Ghost. Okay. She'll just be there for now. I'm drinking just some tea out of one of my favorite mugs. It's a Golden Earth Designs, I believe, is her business name. She's based in New York, I want to say. She's very nice. She does a lot of local-ish, like in the Northeast area, fiber festivals and whatnot. And I have two of her mugs, and this is a little stockinette stitch heart, which I think is really cute. This is like my everyday mug. I love it. I hope my mic isn't picking up Ghost purring more than it's picking up my voice. She can be quite a loud purrer. What was I saying? Oh, I'm trying to do these video diaries more frequently. But you know, life gets crazy, business gets crazy. I really thought this summer I was going to get a bunch of stuff done. Didn't happen at all. I actually spent this summer getting a ton of like diagnoses for chronic illnesses that I've had like forever and just never did anything about. Which actually, if you can see my armband here, it's a visible armband. It helps with I have POTS, and it helps sort of just pace throughout the day and helps me make sure I'm not like overdoing it and leading to more fatigue because I've been diagnosed with POTS, EDS. I also have chronic migraine. I also have asthma. I wasn't like technically diagnosed with ADHD, but the psych guy was like, you have all the symptoms of ADHD. We're just not going to call it that. I don't really know why, but anyway. So I'm in physical therapy now for all of that. If you don't know, EDS is like a joint, it's like a connective tissue disorder. So my joints are a bit wonky. So yeah, so I've kind of spent the summer doing that. And I've also, again, because I have EDS, I injure myself pretty frequently. So I actually last week I sprained my thumb, which made knitting pretty difficult. It's all better now. We're good. I pulled a muscle in my back, which it's the same muscle. I pull this muscle like all the time. Again, probably because of all my other chronic issues. So it's all making sense now. But yeah, so I've been busy doing that. And Ghost has been helping, right? No, not at all helpful. But anyway, my point is I do want to do more of these video diaries. I'm trying my best to make more content for you guys. We'll just see how it goes though, because now we're going into my busy season. Summer was my like not busy season. Autumn and the holiday season are going to be pretty busy. We'll see how we go. We'll try our best, Ghost. That's all we can really offer you. She's so cute. Look at her. Oh my goodness. Anyway, so things I wanted to talk to you about. So the last video diary, all the way back in June, it's now late August. Last video diary in June, the sound cut out, and I was talking about things I had gotten at H&H, which was in early May. So this is from so long ago. I also maybe should check my mic. Yeah, okay, the sound isn't going to die. So I showed you the Townhouse yarns, which I love, love, love. I can't wait to work with that. But the other thing I got at H&H from another company I love is from Bahram U. I got this is the Woodnote DK. Maybe that's a little easier to see. Woodnote DK. This is a British yarn. It's 34% Blueface Leicester, 33 Masham, and 33 Merino. It's lovely. It's soft. It's not like the softest of softest yarns, but it is soft. It is non-superwash, of course. Um, it's just lovely. It's just really, really lovely, and I'm very excited to work with it. I got 3 skeins of this like kind of dark green that I am now realizing is the almost exact same color as my t-shirt. I guess you can tell I like this color. So I got 3 skeins of this and 1 skein of this. I don't know if I'm going to put them together in the same vest or if I'm going to make a vest with this and do like an accessory or something with this. I'm not totally sure. We'll see how we go, but they do look nice together. I think it could be fun to do maybe like a green vest with like a little contrast, this like coppery, like a contrast hem or something. We'll see. But that will be coming in 2026. Because as I said, going into my busy season, yeah. So we'll see how we go. So that's sort of the admin for finishing the last video diary. Other admin, follow me on Instagram, follow me here on YouTube, or subscribe, I guess is the word. Like this video, comment. You can join my mailing list. I'll have links for all that stuff. I'm not super great at this whole content-y thing, as you can maybe tell, but yeah, do all the things. I have a Ko-fi if you want to give me, give me a little Ko-fi donation. That's there. The link is there. But yeah, that's that. So I will tell you upcoming events. I am going to be at the Boston Fiber Festival. I have a little flyer for it here. So the Boston Fiber Festival. It's hosted by Boston Fiber Company, which is where I teach knitting classes. It's in the south end of Boston. It's a lovely little festival. And this year it's actually 2 days. So we're going to have on the Sunday the big festival with all the vendors and everything. And that's going to be super fun. But then also on the Saturday, there are some other classes and events happening. I will put a link to all this stuff in the description as well, so that you can, if you're in the Boston area, you can definitely come check it out. On the Saturday of that festival weekend. So this is September 6th and 7th. So just in a couple of weeks. By the time I edit and upload this, it'll probably be like a week from now. But so Saturday, there's a bunch of classes. There's a Portuguese knitting class. There's a darning class. There's a gauge and like garment fit class. And then I will be giving a talk. It's not a class, so it's a totally free talk talking about sheep breeds, which I love talking about sheep breeds. And I will be featuring this cardigan. This is my breed study cardigan that I did with a bunch of different sheep breeds, breed specific yarns. Most of the there's a little thing hanging off of it. How did that get there? Oh, there's a bunch of them. Oops. Okay. There's several different breeds in here. I think there's 12 breeds. And I know some of them off the top of my head, not all of them. I know this dark gray is Shetland. This I want to say is Rideau Arcot, which is like a Canadian breed. Yeah, and there's some other stuff in there. There's this other gray is Icelandic wool. Yeah, there's a bunch of breeds. We'll be talking about different breeds, different properties of or how different breeds have different characteristics that affect the yarn and how they knit up and what they would be good for and all that sort of stuff. So that's gonna be really fun. I'm very excited for that. I will also be vending at the big festival. Oh, there's also going to be, this is another fun thing. On the Saturday night, there's going to be a kickoff party and a mini market at Dorchester Brewing Company, which is where Boston Fiber Company has their stitch nights every other Tuesday, I believe. So yeah, local brewery. It's gonna be very fun. I will be vending there. And then I'll also be vending at the main festival, which the main festival is free entry. It's from 11 to 5 on Sunday, September 7th. And yeah, I'll have a bunch of my naturally dyed yarn and some knitting kits. And there will also be a designer booth. So I'll have all of my designs on display. And it's going to be awesome. It's a really good lineup. And actually, I believe Golden Earth Designs is going to be there. So if you want a mug, you can get a cute little mug. She has a bunch of other sort of fibery designs. Like there's sheep mug. I have a sheep mug. There's like quilt block mugs, all sorts of stuff. So, and there's also just like normal, not normal. You know what I mean? There's other things that are not fiber related. She has like flower mugs and stuff like that. And not just mugs. She also does like little notions dishes, like trinket dishes. She has buttons, ceramic buttons. So highly recommend checking that out. What else do I want to talk about? Oh, this episode's gonna be all over the place, you guys. I don't have ADHD, apparently. I just have all the symptoms of ADHD. So and I didn't really think this video diary through. I really just was like, oh, I haven't done one in so long and I need to do one. So we're just gonna bounce all over the place. That's why I have my table full of stuff next to me so that I don't forget to talk about something because it's literally physically next to me. This is also kind of something from last May. So before H&H, I went to visit my mom in St. Louis, and we were going through some of my like storage. I have a bunch of stuff in storage down there, and we discovered a box that had these little fruit hats that my grandmother knit for me when I was a kid. So this was the first one. This was my strawberry hat. And I actually don't know if these were knit for me. I have two older brothers, and they might have been knit. I think the strawberry one was for me. But then I have some other ones. I think this is the blueberry. The blueberry one was for me. I'm not sure actually. I think the pumpkin one was knit for one of my brothers. This one was my favorite. The pumpkin was knit for one of my brothers, I think, and then was passed down to me. But so yeah, my grandmother is the knitter of the family. She taught me how to knit. She taught a couple of my cousins how to knit. And I just remember like when I was a kid growing up, we would come up to Massachusetts for Thanksgiving and we would sit on the rug in her living room and she would knit. And for most of my childhood, I would always be sitting on the rug doing something. And for the first part of my childhood, I would sit on the rug doing whatever I was doing. But after I turned, I believe 8 or 9, maybe I was 9, I'm not sure. I would be sitting on the rug knitting. We would be knitting together. And the reason that I learned to knit actually is because, so I had this blueberry hat, blueberry. And then my grandma made these blueberry mittens for me to match. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is so great. This is almost a set. I just need a scarf. And so I said to my grandmother, would you knit me a scarf? And she said, nope, but I will teach you to knit. And of course, at the time, I didn't realize like knitting a scarf takes a really long time and is kind of boring. And so it makes sense now that she didn't want to make one for me. And I'm so glad she didn't because it led to all of this. Obviously, I wouldn't be here doing this if she hadn't taught me to knit. So yeah, so she gave me a couple of skeins of this blue yarn, a couple of skeins of this green yarn, and away we went. I started knitting just a garter stitch scarf It was awful. It was full of holes. I was knitting, I was wrapping my stitches the wrong way. So I just learned like completely wrong, basically. I don't know if she taught me to wrap that way or if I like forgot by the time I got home and started wrapping the wrong way. I don't know. Either way, it took me years to figure that out. But yeah, and I didn't end up making a scarf naturally. I was 9 years old and I got bored very quickly. So I made like a blue rectangle. Wasn't even a rectangle because I kept dropping stitches and my tension was all wonky. So it was a blue or blob. Um, but that's, yeah, that's how I started to knit. That was my knitting journey, the start of my knitting journey. And yeah, so I'm very grateful to my grandma, Winnie, for teaching me to knit. And I'm very grateful that I found all of those hats and mittens in my storage boxes because now I have all of them. It's funny. It's really I'm pretty sure this is like Red Heart Super Saver. Like it's just acrylic, and it's old acrylic. Like this would have happened in like the very early 2000s. Um, so it's not like the nice soft acrylic. Like it's actually kind of scratchy. And you know, I don't knit with acrylic now because I don't like the feel of it. Even the nice soft stuff, I don't like the feel of it. And I'm, you know, like obsessed with wool, but my grandmother always knit with this acrylic from, you know, the big box stores. So it's just funny how I've come so far from that origin. Nothing against acrylic. I just do not like it. But I am so glad to have those. Okay, another thing I want to show you. Moving on. This, I think I showed you this last time, or maybe like maybe it was still partially knit. I don't remember. This is the Faraway Friends scarf. This is the collaboration I was doing with Knitten Word. Also, Knitten Word going to be at Boston Fiber Festival. Yeah, so this is Lore's non-superwash base. This is a sport weight merino, super soft. This is the sport weight Domovoy. I'm maybe not pronouncing that correctly, but yeah, it's that base. It's the sport weight non-superwash base. And this is knit in stockinette stitch, but in the round. So it's like doubled. It's kind of like, I don't know if you can really see what I'm doing here. It's like kind of a tube, but like triangular with a little triangle point at the bottom, and it slopes. So there's actually, let me see if I can show you. So there's increases on this side, obviously going down to the point, but there's actually decreases on this side so that it kind of comes in a little bit so that it's not just like a straight across. Like if you want to wear it like this, you can, oops, I'm probably making horrible noises. Sorry. Maybe I won't do that. I'll show you, I'll insert the video I took of all the different ways I wear this scarf. But yeah, this pattern is now available. Faraway Friends. It's a great little way to use up. Oh Lord, okay, that's not yours, Ghost. Great way to use up a skein. I did the stockinette version for this beautiful variegated. This is the colorway Shelley, named after Mary Shelley. I did another version. Please stop, please stop, please stop. I did another version in a more solid shade that has pearl ridges as like little stripes to give it a little bit of interest for solid shades. That sample is I think I showed, well, I'll put it in a picture. It's like a bright mint green, beautiful color, but doesn't really match my brand or aesthetic much. So that sample has gone back to Lore so that she can use it as a sample at her trunk shows and stuff. But yeah, so that pattern is now available. I will link to it below. It's on my Ravelry. It's on my my Shopify store. I believe it's also on Etsy. I have an Etsy. I don't like tell people about it because why would I? But if for some reason you don't want to shop on Ravelry and you don't want to shop on my website, you can find it on Etsy. Also, an update about my website. I was getting a bunch of fraudulent orders. This is like a very common thing for digital, like low price digital items, right? Like knitting patterns. So people would buy like, you know, one of my $3 patterns, and basically they buy it with a stolen credit card to make sure that credit card works, and then they go and like use the, I don't know how this scam works completely, but something like that. Anyway, so I was getting a ton of fraudulent orders, and it's a huge hassle to go through and like refund all those orders to make sure you don't get chargebacks. And one of them slipped through, and I did get a chargeback, which is so annoying because it's like a $3 pattern, but then the chargeback fee. So I have to refund the $3, but then I also get a chargeback fee of like $15. So it's like this dumb little slip cost me like 18 bucks, which obviously is not that big of a deal in the grand scheme of things of the whole business, but it's still a hassle. I don't want it to happen again. So instead of relying on my not ADHD brain to be able to catch all of those, I made it so that you have to make an account on my website in order to place an order. I know that's kind of a hassle, um, which is why I have all my patterns on Ravelry. So if you don't want to create an account, you can go on Ravelry. But it's just it was just the easiest way to sort of prevent those fraudulent orders. I haven't had a fraudulent order since. And you don't have to sign up for anything. You don't have to sign up for my mailing list. You don't have to. There's no commitment or anything. It's just you just have to like enter your email. You can't check out as a guest, I guess. You just have to enter your email, set a password, whatever. I know it's a little bit of a hassle. I would love to find a way around that, but Shopify's fraud prevention is sort of not great. It's for digital items, it's less prevention and more like recognizing it after the fact, which like isn't useful. So yeah, sorry about that. If you don't want to create an order or create an account, you'll have to go on Ravelry or Etsy. Not all of my patterns are on Etsy, but some of them are. So yeah, okay. I'm gonna check my mic again. Okay, we're still on. Another thing that I'm really excited about that I want to show you. She is kicking me in the boob. Can I move on, please, Ghost? Really excited about this one, you guys. This is La Baba. If you are on the internet at all, you're probably aware of Labubu. I am low-key terrified of Labubu. I think all Labubus are like possessed by a demon or evil in some way, or are like, I don't know. I get bad vibes from them. I think they're creepy and I don't like them. And um, I've seen a lot of content that is like Labubus are possessed by demons. So if you feel similarly, and you don't want a demonic little monster keychain, you can knit your own sheep one, La Baba. So it's this really fun like teddy bear yarn, this boucle, and she's got a little fringe. She's styled after a Valet black nose sheep, which is a Swiss um, sheep breed. And I just so she's got the black face, the little black arms and legs, a little black ears, but and then she has a fringe. And actually, my La Baba currently doesn't have any eyes. Oops, where are you going, Ghost? Please don't knock over my tea. And actually, please don't sit over there either. Stay on my lap, please. Just stay there. Thanks. She doesn't have any eyes. She will have eyes. I'm waiting for them to come in the mail. So yeah, you can see she's just sort of faceless. But it kind of doesn't super matter because her fringe covers her face anyway. Just like a real Valet black nose, their little fringe. It's not called a fringe when you're a sheep. I don't know what it's called. I don't know what it's called, but um, but yeah. So a real Valet black nose, you often like can't see their eyes because they have their little woolly bits come over their eyes. So yeah, and then a little keychain, little swivel keychain thing. And she's just stuffed with roving. So I will be putting this pattern out soon, and then I will also have premiering at the Boston Fiber Festival. I will have kits because I know that this yarn is like kind of hard to find, and you only need like, I don't know, like 10, 15 grams of it. So you don't want to buy a whole 100 gram skein. So So I'll make little kits that have all of the, it has enough to make a lababa. It has like the stuffing, it has a little bit of contrast yarn, and then it also comes with it'll come with the eyes as well, and the keychain bit. Yeah, so you can make your own little lababa, and then you can make a little sweater for your lababa. So this is, let me see if I can put it on here. This is the pullover. I will also have a little pattern. This will be included in the lababa pattern, the pattern for the sweaters. This is the pullover. I will also have a cardigan, and I will also have, this is fingering weight. I will also have DK versions of both the cardigan and the pullover. And it's a great way to use up a little mini skein if you have a mini. So there she is in her little jumper. So sweet. This mini skein is the East Coast Yarn Salem colorway, which I just love. I think it's so cute. So yeah, so I'm very excited about that. Look out for that pattern coming soon. Maybe by the time this is out, maybe not. If it's out, I'll link it below. Yeah, so that's Lababa. So this summer, I was like so sure that this was finally the summer that I was going to get really into sewing. I love sewing. I love making my own garments. Obviously as a knitter, but then also as a sewist, sewing is a lot faster, and you can make things you can't necessarily make with knitting. I'm not great at sewing yet. I know how to do it. I can make a pretty functional thing. I've made a couple of dresses. I made a ton of bags. So I'm not like bad at it, but it's not really my forte. But I can do it, and I would like to get better. I would like to make more of my own clothing as well. So one of the things I did is I also love upcycling, as you know, and thrifting. So, I mean, it's kind of hard to show on, I mean, it's just this is just a sheet. This is a sheet that I got at Savers a while ago. I'm not sure what size. It's bigger than a twin. It's either like a double or might be a queen. I don't know. But it's just this lovely purple. It's 100% cotton. And it's just a sheet. And I thought that this would be great material to make a skirt, like a tiered maxi skirt. So I bought the So Liberated Songbird skirt pattern ages ago, like kind of like when it came out, I think, like shortly after it came out, which is really embarrassing because I think it came out like a really long time ago. I bought the pattern. I had it printed at my um, uh, local yarn store and sewing store, Gather Here in Cambridge. They have a big printer, so you can print out like coffee shop size patterns, which I love because I hate taping um, pattern pages together and then have to cut them out. That's my least favorite part of sewing, is the cutting out the pattern and cutting out the fabric, which is why I haven't cut out the fabric yet. It's still just a big sheet. I've been wanting to do it all summer. I just keep things get in the way. I just don't prioritize it. So Liberated is now hosting a little Instagram challenge thing of upcycling. And so basically the rules I think are, upcycle something using one of the So Liberated patterns, and and you get entered to win a prize of like a couple patterns or whatever. I'm honestly not like interested in winning at all. But this is just kind of like motivation to actually do it. I just sort of need like a deadline. So the deadline is the 29th of August, which as I'm recording, I believe it is the 25th of August. Okay, I don't think I'm going to make the deadline. I'll try. We'll see. Whatever. If I can at least cut out the skirt, I think the sewing process will go much faster. But yeah, so I just kind of, I like a deadline. It just helps. So we'll see if I can do that. But I'm very excited, and I'm very excited about, yeah, like upcycling this old sheet and making it into a skirt. I just think that's it's a great sort of budget way of sewing, because this sheet costs I don't know, like $4. Um, and it's a lovely, like, it's the perfect weight for a skirt. It's 100% cotton. It's very nice fabric. So um, it's an economical way of doing that. And then it's also, you know, good for the environment because I'm reusing something that would otherwise uh, probably go to landfill. So feel good about that. Um, okay, WIPs. This is something I've been working on. Well, no, I've only been working on it for like a month and a half. I was knitting a sweater for a magazine that I can't show you. I can't tell you about. That was taking up a lot of my time and I couldn't like talk about it. So that was rough. This one I can talk about. This one I've also been working on for about a month and a half at the same time. This is going to be a pullover. So it's going to have sleeves. It doesn't have sleeves yet. I just finished the collar. I still have to block the collar, so it looks a bit wonky. But this is using Megs & Co. Empire Estate yarn, which is 100% grown, spun, dyed in New York State. So that's super cool. I love that. And it's this lovely mosaic pattern, sort of stripey. The orange color, the pumpkin spice color, is really sort of subtly variegated, which is fun. And then the cream color is more of kind of a bare. Um, I think it is. I don't know if it's undyed or if it's like just very subtly dyed, but very lovely. I'm very excited about it. This was meant to be, and poor Meg. I keep putting. I've been thinking about this sweater forever. Um, for over a year now, I believe. I keep um, and I keep pushing back the date of the release. It was supposed to kind of be coming out in the next like week. That's obviously not happening. It will be out before Rhinebeck. That's kind of my goal. This is kind of my Rhinebeck sweater, I guess. I don't know. It really depends on the weather at Rhinebeck, you know. Um, but yeah, this will be out by Rhinebeck, and so you'll be able to shop for the yarn for it at all your fall festivals. So I'm very excited about that. And yeah, I'll be looking out. I'll be looking for test knitters shortly. Although I'm also changing the way I do test knitting and doing more of a preview knitting rather than test knitting exactly. But if you want to know more about that, if you want to be on the tester list or preview knitter list, you can sign up for my newsletter, my mailing list. I will also be doing something new with my newsletter starting next month. Instead of just telling you what's happening in my business and like what, like, you know, new releases, new podcast episodes, new video diaries, whatever, I will actually just be doing a weekly little like reflection and sort of like a musing on craft, making, life stuff. Um, it's going to be, it's just going to be a little more less businessy, I guess, and more practice, more the practice of craft, which I'm very excited about talking more about. And I think it'll just be better to have in your inbox. I will obviously also tell you about new releases and stuff that's happening, but I want my newsletter to be kind of more of a like not essays, but just little snippets of like nice reflections and things. So yes, that will be happening in September. So if you're not on my mailing list already, do get on my mailing list if you want that in your inbox. Okay, so I'm just in my kitchen now in my dirty dyeing sweatshirt. I have a new-ish base. I've done mini skeins in this base. This is from Nomad Yarns. This is the non-superwash merino fingering. So I've just got some of it there. It's all wet. It's a little steamy in here. I am just about to mordant it. So we're sticking it in our pot of mordant. When I dye, I know a lot of dyers use zip ties. I use these plastic shower curtain rings because they're a little more reusable. I know you can get reusable zip ties, but I don't know where. These are easier. These are from Dollar Tree. Popping them all in here. They're reusable, but they also, I mean, they do kind of have a short life because they are plastic rings that are going into a pot of boiling water. So let me just show you here. So those will be mordanted, and then hopefully I can dye them all. I have 20 skeins of fingering weight and 20 skeins of DK to dye before the Boston Fiber Festival, which is coming up in a couple weeks. So we'll see how I go. Wish me luck. Yeah, so as I was saying, these guys do have a pretty short life. They tend to just sort of snap when I try to open them after I've used them a few times, just because they get really brittle. They are, you know, just little tiny bits of plastic. And I'm putting them in pots of hot water. So yeah, so they're not the most sustainable option, but they are a little bit better than single-use zip ties. These are maybe like some of them seem to last a really long time. Some of them only last like maybe 3 or 4 times. But you know, I'm working on it. Maybe one day I'll have a more sustainable solution, but for now, that's what I got. So yeah, that's kind of all I have to show you for today, which is kind of crazy given that I haven't done one of these in months. I do have, there's other stuff that I'm working on that I can't show you, of course. And I will also, I'll be vending at the Winter Festival this year, the SoWa Winter Festival. So I'm making inventory for that, making a ton of beanies and ear warmers and scarves and stuff. And yeah, I've been working on this design for this publication. I've been doing a lot of yarn dyeing. I have actually I'll throw in some yarn dyeing footage today as well, or in this diary because I've been doing that this week. I just mordanted a bunch of a new base that I have from Nomad Yarns. I got some fingering and some DK, and that is going to hopefully all be dyed and ready to go for the Boston Fiber Festival on the 6th and 7th of September. Yeah, so that's kind of it for now. Ghost just did a really acrobatic jump into a cardboard box on the floor. That was really impressive. But I should get going. I don't want these video diaries to be too long, so I'm gonna let you go. I will hopefully be filming another one of these sooner than the last gap, and I also want to keep them shorter, so I want them more frequent and shorter. Yeah, and I will see you next time. Thanks for watching. Here's Ghost being very calm for once in her life. Very calm and not disruptive. How you doing, baby? Say hi to the viewers. Hi, viewers. She's so done with my BS.